All right, we're on Sheviit Perek Chet, Mishnah Tet. In our last Mishnah, we discussed the idea that your person was not allowed to use the money that was derived from the sale of Sheviit, which has Kedushat Sheviit, for mundane purposes, for non-food purposes. So therefore, for example, we learned you can't buy avadim, v'karkaot, you can't buy other things, baseball gloves, with money from Sheviit. Similarly, you can't use we're going to learn in our Mishnah that you can't use the produce of Sheviit for non-food related purposes. Says the Mishnah, or shesacho b'shemen shel Sheviit. If I have, or leather, i.e. my baseball glove, which I anointed with oil of Sheviit. So I took my baseball glove and I oiled it with the oil of Sheviit. So that's asur, you're not allowed to do that. Rabbi Eliezer Omer Yidalek. You got to burn it. Okay, you have to burn the leather because the shemen of Sheviit is unusable. You're allowed now to do it. Any kind of kelim, any kind of utensils that were inappropriately treated, we could do shat Sheviit. Exactly what the Bartenura says. Okay, it seems logical that it would be any kind of kelim. Chachamim said, yochal kenegdo. No, all you have to do, since you use the money of Sheviit inappropriately, you have to eat food of the corresponding value with Kedushat Sheviit instead. Amru lifnei Rabbi Akiva. So they said in front of Rabbi Akiva, Omer aya Rabbi Eliezer, or shesacho b'shemen shel Sheviit yidalek. So they said, in the name Rabbi Eliezer used to say, they said in front of Rabbi Akiva, that Rabbi Eliezer would say that leather that was anointed with oil of Sheviit should be burned. I.e., they quoted this line of the Mishnah in front of Rabbi Akiva. Amar lehem, he says to them, shtoku, be quiet. Lo amar lechem masher Rabbi Eliezer omer bur. I'm not going to tell you what Rabbi Eliezer said about this. It's a very interesting comment, a very rare comment. So the question is, of course, when Rabbi Akiva says, be quiet, I'm not going to tell you I'm not telling you what Rabbi Eliezer said, is the reason because Rabbi Eliezer was too makil for Rabbi Akiva, and he didn't want people to think that it would be to be more lenient, or too machmir. So the first interpretation, what let's look at, is the Bartenura. Shtoku, be quiet. Lo amar lechem masher Rabbi Eliezer omer. I'm not going to tell you what he said. Rabbi Akiva kibel Rabbi Eliezer rabo de mekel tvei b'sicha. So the Bartenura quotes the opinion, and we'll see there's two opinions in the Yerushalmi, that Rabbi Eliezer was more lenient. Ukshamrulo shaya Rabbi Eliezer yid omer yidalek. When they said in the name of Rabbi Eliezer that we heard that he said you have to burn the glove and all the utensils, Amar shtoku, be quiet. She'eni l'rashai lefarish kama ya Rabbi Eliezer mekelbo. I am not permitted to explain just how lenient Rabbi Eliezer was in this case. Why? Because the halacha is like the chachamim. Be quiet. I don't want you to know. Now it's interesting. That was one opinion. The Yerushalmi brings a totally opposite opinion. Okay, well, the opposite opinion is that Rabbi Eliezer was incredibly machmir. Okay, the line in the Yerushalmi is atzmotav. According to Rabbi Eliezer, he said atzmotav shel oto ish yisarefu. The bones of the person who inappropriately used shemen of Sheviit, they should be burned. And if that was the case, if that's what Rabbi Eliezer said, he said something kitzoni, you could really understand why Rabbi Akiva wouldn't want to quote him. Otherwise, if Rabbi Akiva, let's say he was more makil, so very often we have a machloket. Why would Rabbi Akiva not want to say something in the name of Rabbi Eliezer? But if Rabbi Eliezer said something that was really off the charts, then maybe perhaps Rabbi Akiva would be reluctant to share that the information that he heard in the name of his Rabbi. We'll stop here. We'll dedicate the learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. As always, comments or questions, arspolter@gmail.com. Have a good day.